You might like Lilo and Stitch, but here's a bunch of people who hated it. The characters, the animation, the story, it all exceeds beyond Disney's usual limits. Sadly, the rest of the movie kind of sucks. It gets boring, old, and predictable, so you may enjoy it, but I didn't. For the most part. Sounds like you didn't enjoy it at all. I like how you're like, the rest of the movie kind of sucks, when all you mentioned is the characters, the animation, and the story. That's pretty much the movie. Characters, animation, and story. Story. You even included story. That's the movie. So it was great, I guess.
This Air Bud movie was so weird. Wait. No, I'm in the right folder. I mean, I feel like the writers really captured North Korea perfectly with this film. However, it does not make up for the weird incest at the end of the credits. Also, Elvis sucks, so yeah, you know. Ice cream cone guy was obviously a figure of God that was ever omnipresent within the construct of the story. This film was made in the post-9/11 mindset with some scenes heavily mirroring the Twin Towers. This movie is for kids. My Nigerian son, Plakwile, was mortified and constipated. Trolls. Can we make this?
Elvis, the Ice Cream Man, and the Nigerian Son. The movie. As homiletic as this file was, it lacks the sophisticated depth in terms of character development. File? Man, we are in the future when we're calling movies files.
I found the story in Lilo very annoying. Lilo's annoying. I mean, if you have kids, yes. I would assume so. It's like Tom and Jerry. When you're a kid, you relate to Jerry. And as you get older, you understand Tom. I said those names right? Yeah. Adulting.
It's hard to get behind Stitch when he's such a little creep. You're not going to be a very supportive parent if you're not willing to get behind some little creep. Children suck. All right.
This movie made me feel angry for an hour, then expected me to do a 180 and feel sympathy and love for these characters. Yeah. It's like Scrooge or Iron Man, who was actually created to be so that everybody hates him, and that was the challenge of getting everybody to like him. That's why he's rich and cocky. You know? Yes, writing does that.
Definitely not a kids movie, and I'd go as far to say not a good movie either. Not a kids movie? How's it not a kids movie? This is so ridiculously a kids movie. The only people who can like Stitch is a child. It's like a requirement. If you put that in front of adults, it's like, get this fucking thing away from me. Kids are like, yay!
Weird story. Fell asleep. It's weird that you would know what the story is if you were sleeping the whole fucking time. I'm not angry or anything.
When you read that, I heard it completely different. I thought their story was that they fell asleep. I thought they were telling us a story like, weird story, fell asleep. And I was like, that is weird. Not a very good story, though. Man, I heard that wrong. All right. Bad Disney. Very, very, very bad. Walt would be unimpressed. I feel like Walt would be impressed at where technology has gone to make animated film. Even if he was like, this is a shit story, he'd be like, oh my God, look what's on the screen. I had no idea that was possible. And why am I alive now?
Looking back at it now, I can't honestly remember anything that memorable about Lilo and Stitch. It's one of the most uninspired Disney movies of all time. It's just plain silly when you think about it. In comparison to Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, it barely holds a candle. It's silly when you think Beauty and the Beast had dancing, singing plates. It's pretty goddamn goofy. And Aladdin had a rug that had a personality, and it wasn't just its design. Plus, it barely holds a candle. I think you missed being able to say it barely holds a lumiere.
Isn't there enough with the TV show and all? There's a question I don't know how to answer, because I don't know what it means.
Lost interest and zoned out after 20 minutes. The same story as you. Are you? David, did you guys cuddle during your nap?
Another crappy new film from Disney, whose former classics have to sit on the shelves next to this garbage. Lilo and Stitch is such a boring satire which kept me uncaptivated until the very end. The credits were more fun to view than the movie, for God's sakes. You sound like a person who shouldn't comment on a movie and just shouldn't have finished it. I don't think you should make a review or a comment on a movie you haven't finished. I just personally think that you should have stopped like really early on in this movie and just never said anything about it again. But maybe that's just me, Gustav Markovic 31.
Wasn't at all what I expected. Pretty bad. Yeah, it sucks when a movie surprises you. I kind of want a movie to surprise me. I don't want to know everything about a movie before I go into it. Why would I pay money to go watch that? Why would you want to know exactly how the movie is going to go before you go in? Because that's called a second viewing or a DC trailer.
Poorly animated with a bad story, unlike Stephen Hawking, who's poorly animated with an amazing story.
Probable the worst cartoon Disney film I've seen. What the hell is this film about? Ugh. Bet Walt is turning in his grave. Yeah, because that's how, they keep him loose.
Encourages female fantasy. Half a star. Man, so much for oh, it's a guy? Wow, you're a dick. I was gonna say there's a woman in the picture, so I was gonna say so much for like women empowering each other, but it's a guy just being an asshole. Well, f*** you, man. That's such a dick comment.
Women can't dream. F*** you too, man. I just want to say that as well. PC tale of aliens in the island state. Not one of Disney's best. Politically correct tale of aliens in Hawaii? Isn't it like the only? Wait, no. Where's Predator?
It's in a jungle. I don't remember where. Who would want to buy a blue dog anyway? Steve. From Blue's Clues.
Simply obnoxious, unable to live up to its own previews. Oh no, I'm so upset that it didn't cater to my adult sensibilities.
Fun and charming story. Over my dead body it is. I saw this garbage in the theaters and I remember it being a very unpleasant ride. Overly adult, mean-spirited, obnoxious, and at times even scary. Lilo and Stitch is not the classic it has been deemed. This was a grating experience that I have not fully forgiven. You want a good Disney movie from the 2000s, people? Then I suggest you read Treasure Planet or Atlantis, The Lost Empire. At least those were trying. Man. This damaged you. It's so weird to hear someone walk out of a Disney movie not like, I didn't like it, but like, this hurt me physically and emotionally. A grating experience that I have not fully forgiven. Man, that's not very Christian.
It's just awful. I can't believe you're saying this is better than Pocahontas or Sword in the Stone. This is just my rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Is that it? I mean, people forget to go back and rate stuff, and this happened to exist during the internet. Plus, Pocahontas would have been better with aliens. And so would Sword in the Stone.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell right next to it so you can be notified every time we have a video. Speaking of videos, if you want to see another one from us, click one of the ones on the screen. And until we see you next time, geek out and game on.